Hello. Hi, everybody. I gotta get my headphone in. Hi. Sinister Chris, hello. How are you? You are on YouTube. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let me get these things. I'm gonna start off with a little commercial. Okay, I know. It's alright. Won't take long. It's just for my Patreon. Play, you fool. Play the music. Oh my god, it's not playing music. Hold on. For some reason all my sound has been switched to something different today. It's driving me nuts. It's like it's not on my normal, whatever you call it. Sorry, I'm distracted. Maybe I can bring these into the other thing. Oh my goodness. Give me 2 seconds. Good. There we go. Haha. Wow, I actually fixed it in the time I said I would. Yeah, Koga-sama, what's up? How you doing? I'm good, Chris. I'm good. I'm better now than I was, let's say, a month or 2 ago. This is gonna drive me nuts. So I'm gonna get this out of the way. Truth be told, I usually have my hair up, like in a little claw thing, probably 95% of the time. So, all right, little commercial here. So I have things called Clover cards, and these are monthly things. This is this month's. Despite how cute it is, it actually has kind of a dark story in the back. So every one of these has a story in the back. These are rare ones. For the people who have been on since the beginning of it, which is like 1 year, 19 months. Do the math. It's over a year for sure. This is going out this month to the people who have been on since the beginning. But if you join today, there's another one that's not here. These are cards 4, 7, 2, and 5. They're the only ones I could see. But these are rare cards that you get every 3 months you're on. So, like I said, this one's the newest one. And then this is the monthly one you get. So this is this month's, this is August. And these ones, these cards you can't buy, like back buy anywhere. These are just month by month by month. So sometimes they're old art, sometimes they're new art. And this is my Curious Collector tier stuff this month. This is the Loppy. It is a lily pad pip, which a pip is like a deity, but for plant folk. So every plant type has its own pip. So these are lily pad pips. So they have a really cute little story about kind of how they're created, what they do, their general mannerisms and stuff. And these sorts of things come on these sheets. This is the Omlotl. This is from July. But it's about this long, and then you also get a little fortune. So these are always really fun for me to do because I get to write a little story every month, which I'm always so excited to do because I love writing stories. And I get to create creatures and some little merch things, so it's really fun for me. And I think a lot of people end up enjoying them because stickers and stories, right? Who wouldn't? This is today's Bicker Burrow that we're gonna do. Oh, this was last week's. Last week's was this guy. This is still available if anybody wanted this original. This is available on my website. So if you go to cloverkin.com/originals, this is one of the ones. I think I just made them all like $130, but it's about 5x7. It's on some really nice paper. But if you want to see this one, we did this one last week. So that one's still up for grabs. Let's see. I gotta do the masking on this, but how's everybody else doing? Aw, Kogasama, you're so sweet. Well, I'm glad you could join too. It's been a long time, right? Oh yeah, please do. You're so wonderful for being on. I appreciate that. Let's see. Now, Chris, you'll have to forgive me. I have like 4 Chris's on my Patreon. Are you Chris W, Chris C, or a different one? I remember like two last names. The other ones are eluding me because they're on the digital tier, so I never actually get to see their name. Don't I remember last time I had the time and opportunity? Yeah, I don't even remember, Kogasama. It's been so long since I've even been able to. So, are you the one that's going to college? Or is that Chris C? Damn it. Ah, you'll tell me. I'm sure you'll tell me. I'm going to try something different with my masking fluid here to make sure I can get it right. Someone suggested I try it with the sculpting tools, so I'm going to give that a go. That seems good. Let's try this. Yeah, they're not. They're rubber tipped. That's probably the other Chris. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for joining, Chris W. I appreciate you being here. Are you new to the streams? I forget. You've been here before, haven't you? Even so, even if you haven't, I'm happy you're here. And your Patreon stuff should be going out Monday or Tuesday. Next week is full-on Dragon Con prep. So I will be at Dragon Con this year, kind of against my will. I did not want to go back to cons yet, but since they won't roll over my table again, I gotta do what I gotta do. So, we're trying the rubber tip brush with the masking fluid because it can ruin your regular brushes, and I ruined 2 the past couple streams. So we're not gonna do that. And there was this hack where you're supposed to like dip it in dish soap first and then in your masking fluid, and it's supposed to save your brush. It totally didn't. Like, that brush is still ruined. So we're gonna try this method. So yeah, so these are actually sculpting brushes. I should have mentioned that too. They're rubber tipped because they're for smoothing on sculpts. So Gabe and I use them for our figures and whatnot, but figured, well, we should be able to just pull off the masking then, you know, when it dries on the brush. So we're gonna do it this way. Now, for those that don't know, masking fluid is meant to be put down on painting so you can paint right over it, and it keeps whatever thing you're masking over the same color, or, you know, anything you want it to be, but you just don't want to have the hassle going around it or potentially messing it up more. So masking fluid can be very useful. But it is kind of tricky to get kind of the hang of, especially if you have to like look up brushes and things. Some people use needles, like syringes, to do it, but those get gunked up too. I've tried those before. So, and if a little bit in my case gets on the bubble itself, that's okay. Because last time I just used some gouache and kind of, as long as you don't use acrylic, you should be okay, because then you can just kind of write over it, but no big deal. I don't think I've mentioned it on the stream really before, but if you do get my Curious Collector tier stuff, I do have a Curious Collector case that you can get, where if you've got the little bottle stickers, it's meant for you to put them on it, so you at least have like this little cute bookcase display for the bottles. And when you get that, I give you all the bottles you've gotten so far, so you can at least, you know, have duplicates in case you've put them somewhere else. So, alright, let's give this a shot. This is probably not gonna be fully covering, but we'll try it. Trial and error. I'm trying something new. Trial and error is big. You don't think you've joined the streams before? Well, welcome, Chris. I'm glad I figured out a way to simultaneously stream to YouTube and Twitch, because I know Twitch is kind of a hard jump for a lot of people to make, and I totally get it, because there's ads, you gotta like make an account. See, God, that came off just perfectly. God, I hope this works. That would be really nice if this works, because that came off very nicely. Now I have to wait for it to dry, so this part kind of sucks. So, yeah, Kogasama. So if you prefer YouTube, let me know. Or just go over to it, I guess. It's just youtube.com/Coleorgan. How is my audio? Like I said, I was having some audio issues. Are you able to hear me okay and all that? Cavendish! Good afternoon. Always love to see you. What are these cute animals saying to one another? Oh, Cavendish. Do you want me to tell you right away? You don't want to wait? It's totally up to you, Chris. Either way. Whatever you want to do. No, Cavendish, I can tell you. You don't hear any of the music? Really? Huh. No one else hears music either? Interesting. How about now? Because now maybe you can hear it, but I can't hear it. Alright, well, I'm going to tell you, Cavendish. So this goose lady is saying, isn't that so cute? And then the cat's saying, nah, your kids are just fucking dumb. Because they're eating mud. So she's, you know, she's like, oh, it's so cute. And the kid's like, no, you're fucking dumb. Oh, so you wanted to come stay with me for about an hour? Oh, Cavendish, I love you. Thank you. Welcome back, Chris. Oh yeah, you do have a thingy. Cool. So there's no music? Like for realsies? Y'all, what in the world? Yeah, if there's no music, tell me, because this thing says there is, and it's lying to me constantly. Here, I'm gonna use this so I don't get my fingers nasty. Yeah, that's still going. Still drying. Would you rather I do this before I start the stream so you don't have to wait for the masking fluid to dry? Or if you're indifferent, I guess, tell me that too. Who cares? Who knows? Or maybe... Can you hear it now? The music now? Is it really loud? Uh-oh. See, I can't even hear it. Hold on. My things are all screwed up. I don't know why my graphics card is not playing to my headphones. To fanfare. Well, hey, that works. How's the music now? Because I can't hear it, but if you can hear it, I'm cool with that. I think it's going through the TV, but it's being weird. Well, this sucks because I don't want you to have to deal with this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's being weird. That's so dumb. I updated Windows and I'm guessing it screwed around with something. Yeah, let me know if it just disappears. Oh, that's so dumb. I know. I hate it. This is why I use a Mac. Our stream computer is Windows, so there's that. I'm glad majority of the time I'm dealing with my Mac. It's wonderful to me, it never screws anything up. I've had it since like 2012, never had a virus, never had a problem, no crashing, nothing. Beautiful computer. Alright, I think this is done. So, I might take progress shots of this just because music's soft. Okay. Alright, well, I'll just leave it. I'll have to figure it out next time. I don't want to put the blame on Gabe, but sometimes he comes in here and he messes with some stuff and, you know, it affects my stream and he doesn't know, and that's, you know, I feel bad when I blame him, but it might have actually been his problem, but that's okay.
Hi Clover and everyone, hope you're having a wonderful Saturday.
Oh, EB, I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday too. I am so happy that I'm going to be going back to Saturdays. So, I should mention that too. You know what? I'm going to do the wash first, and then we'll talk about that. And look, he used my palette and he didn't clean it. Come on, guy. Come on, guy. I gotta clean this now. He used my palette. Don't get me wrong, I love my husband dearly, but oh my god, this palette. Bro. For some reason, my palette is always really clean after I use it. It's probably because I don't use opaque colors like he does, but it's never as dirty as that. You'll see, I'll show you at the end of the painting. Alright, cleaned it good enough. Alright, let's do the wash and then I'll talk about all the fun news. I guess most is fun. I guess it's all kind of good news. Alright, so usually when I'm doing these, I start off with kind of a warm wash just to make it so that the white paper isn't like white. Oh, he dirtied up my yellow. That guy. Fucking guy. Let me get a different yellow then. Just want it to be kind of a light wash. Reminder for those that were here last time, that painting that we did with the pill bugs is still available in case you enjoyed it and you would like to own it and adopt it from me and become its very lovely, wonderful owner. Okay, so while this is drying, I will tell you about what's going on. Gabe, as you know, was working at Walmart because finding artwork is very difficult right now. If you're an illustrator, if you're a comic artist, across the board it's really difficult to find any work. So he was working at Walmart for a while, probably about 3 months, and just so we could pay the bills, because bless my Patreon, but it doesn't bring in enough to really survive off of. It's kind of like a part-time job, and unfortunately the rest of my time is taken up by portraits I owe people, so I'm not able right now to get a full-time job of any kind. So in the meantime, he's been, picking up the slack, bless his heart, and then once I kind of get back on a schedule with my portraits, I should be able to pick up more work somehow, some way. Anyway, and he was, like, jobs everywhere seem to just be crazy right now, because he was finding jobs every day online and, like, applying to at least 2 to 3, a day. No callbacks. Like, no one's calling back. I don't know if they even realize their applications are online or something. A lot of the time I feel like these companies are kind of old school and they don't even really know when they put it up on the internet how to check that they have applicants, things like that. So he applied to all these places and he was doing that for like 3 months straight. Just nothing. There was maybe 1 or 2, but they were like an hour away. So we couldn't, because we're in a rural area, so we couldn't really do much with that. But then recently he found this one, and it's like a sign making company that's like a half an hour away. It's not too bad. I wish it was closer, but beggars can't be choosers, right? So he ended up getting that job, and he starts that when I get back from Dragon Con. So that'll be nice. It's a little sad he has to give most of his time now to that and not as much to his art and stuff, but maybe it's one of those things, like, you do something for a while and you need to change it up and you need to do other things just to get ahead, and then you can go back to doing that. It's kind of the freelance life. Like, you freelance for a while as long as you can. It's like coasting, and you try to get as many things done as you want, and then at some point you kind of run out, or you either take off or you run out. Like, you take off and get rich or something, or get good jobs or whatever. But thanks to COVID and that whole thing, that did not happen for many, many, many people. Like, so many artists I know are in trouble, I guess. We're all getting other jobs and things because the artosphere is hurting. So at least we're not alone on this, but it does suck that all of us are kind of, in a situation, I guess. Just making a really long list. Oh no! I'm not trying to blame him. Trying to clean off the table before folks get here, just so the cake fell off, but shadows sprawled across the center of the table right now. Aww. Big boy. Cutie big boy. What was I gonna say? Cavendish, I might go to MFF. I was thinking out of all the conventions, maybe that is the safest one, just because everybody is in giant covered heads and things. So I was thinking about applying to it, but it's really gonna depend on how Dragon Con goes, if I feel safe going to MFF, but it's in my state, so it's like, maybe I should? I don't know. Anyway. We try to be, Box, yeah. A lot of the time when one of us is kind of not able to, get things in order to pay the bills or whatever. The other one's kind of there to pick up the slack. But at the same time, because of COVID, we were both kind of in the same boat, where it was difficult for both of us. So we really, COVID drained us of our savings, all this stuff. It was hard. Nobody was hiring. People are still apprehensive to hire. The other thing is we need remote work because we're in such a, what do you call it? A remote area, rural, that we can't really go to downtown Chicago or anything like that. Because we could get teaching or, game art jobs, but we'd have to live closer to downtown Chicago, and we do not. We are very much in the boonies of Illinois, so lots of things we can't do. And it seems like a lot of office places actually are going very far away now from remote work, by what we're seeing. A lot of the applications he was looking at were for in-person spots. Nobody has remote spots anymore. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, Cavendish, I feel ya. Sixth year of a job which I took when I planned I could leave it. Get a job with art or in the area I studied for. It's hard, Kogasama. I know you don't live where we do, but I think it's hard everywhere right now. Unless you have art that's very, an art style that's very sought after or kind of in right now, you can't really get much anywhere. It's hard. It is hard, and I don't think it's going to get any easier, honestly. And things like AI art and everything are kind of coming in that are freaking people out. So it's interesting. Constant swing of Ruby, have a job, then I go in, you leave, find something new. Yep, that's very much what it is. It's very stressful. You kind of get used to the swing of freelance, at least when times are good. But like I said, times are not good right now for really anybody. So if the economy was better, maybe it'd be fine. But it doesn't seem to be. I'm not an economist by any means, but it really, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like anybody's really in a good place, Everybody's kind of struggling, at least if you're, middle class or whatnot. So, we're trying to hang in there. But this new job will at least give us some stability, which we haven't had for a long time. And that should be really nice. We can pay off some ridiculous debt we've accrued during COVID. Really stupid. I usually pride myself on paying bills on time and everything, and all our bills are still paid on time. It's just, we're just getting so low on everything, and it's just, like I said, it's ridiculous. Well, you wouldn't though, Cavendish. You're not in the fields really where you would be threatened by it. The ones that are threatened by it are mainly concept places, concept roles. It's really going to come up to be a tool, but I'm seeing it more like fan art where, it's technically not yours, but you're selling it anyway, so that there's going to be people who really love AI art, and it's going to make it so non-artists, non-creatives, people who can't normally draw or articulate their creativity visually, it's going to be able to give them an avenue to make visual art and even sell it. But the problem becomes where these AI tools are getting their visuals. If they're pulling from everything on the internet, including artists, that means in some facet they're stealing the art and putting it into pieces. Like there was this one article I read where it was taking this person's art for, because somebody typed in this one artist, so it looks like their art, and it actually grabbed one of their watermarks off one of their pieces and put it in the AI art. That's hard to say. So it's really weird because then it's like it's saying that artist made it, but they didn't. But it's just really weird, that it can do that. So I think the only time AI art is going to get okay to use is if they actually take out all the artists. I know that sounds kind of counterproductive, but from a legality standpoint, there's no way they can do this really legally, because if you're taking a certain amount, because I've researched the whole fan art thing way too much, so there's a certain amount you have to change art for it to become something that's not the artist that has the copyright on it. I keep forgetting the word when I'm put on the spot, but it's like a couple steps away from it. And if you're just putting in like Sakimi-chan or another artist solely, and then a couple other words that you want it to be like farm, animal, and it turns out looking like their work, that's too close. You can't do that. So it's like copying. So it's similar to the NFT thing where it's gonna have to get some legal stuff put into it so that people can't just AI generate art that looks like an artist's work. I feel kind of lucky because I'm all over the place with my style, where I don't have a very defined, like, that's a Cloverkin, so I feel a little lucky about that. But the people that have very defined styles, very recognizable work, I'd be so scared. Like, if I was one of them, I would be so scared. So that's where it gets a little dicey, because a lot of companies, what they're going to end up doing is using AI art to generate some images they like, and then they're going to hand them over to like an art director and say, okay, can you make stuff that looks like this, but make it more obviously about our product, or make it fit our game better, but like this style, So I feel like that's kind of how it'll end up being used after all the stuff I've kind of read about it. Like, they're going to use it as an extra tool. But I did read another article that had, and I tweeted about it too, that had it was an editorial that used an AI generated piece in the actual article. And all it had to do is credit Midjourney for generating it. And that's it. Like, it doesn't necessarily say, this was generated using these keywords or anything like that. It doesn't have to do that. It just said AI art generated by Midjourney. And it's like, is that how that's going to be? Like, every single piece of AI art that comes out is just going to be credited to Midjourney and it's free? Like, there's something so unsettling still about that. And after the guy got just flamed about it, he explained that, okay, we usually use the same stock photos for all of our articles that we've bought, but I needed something different, so I just did this. And I still don't think that's a good excuse. But that's what he said. But it really brought up another interesting point of view with it, So you gotta kind of look at all the sides of AI art when it comes to like who's using it and for what. And, because I don't necessarily think it's gonna be artists using it. I think it's gonna be non-artists using it. It's gonna be people who don't normally draw or can't draw, and they want to make something beautiful. And granted that it really does let you do that. But then where does it end? Because then you're going to have, you're going to walk into conventions, and it's going to be similar, in my opinion, it's going to be a lot like when people trace screenshots from animated cartoons and movies. People do this all the time at conventions. It drives me nuts. They'll just trace a screenshot and then color it really badly. Like, they're terrible artists. I'll just say it. I mean, first of all, they're just tracing, and then they just color it in, and then they sell the prints. It's awful, right? But I feel like it'll come to that. Yeah, the art's going to be beautiful, and it'll come out of the ether, like as a gift to this person or whatever. But to sell that, all you did was put in a sentence, and you could make $40 a print. You know, there's something about that. It's like it's almost easier than making money off fan art. And that feels very wrong, because, I don't know. Making money off fan art to me is very wrong, but making money off something you didn't even really actually create, like from a visual cue, feels extremely wrong. I don't know. That's kind of my view on it. Art is going in such a way where it's just ridiculous, you know? A lot of us, we're going to end up having people coming up to us at conventions and be like, oh, did you make that? Or did you AI generate that? You know? I mean, you can already do that with human artists. What do you mean, Cavendish? Do what? Sorry. There's a delay between when I talk and you guys type, so if you want to tell me which part you're reacting to. But it just gets so dicey when people are using it, you know, for something, but there's no credit, but there's obviously it used something to get there. Like, it used images to make what it made. So it's like, how do you credit that? That's the scary part to me. Right now I'm just doing a lighting pass on this. On all these, one of the things that ties the piece together for me is doing the lighting with purple. And then as I add the colors onto it, it kind of gets more like the purple kind of fade. But it's still like a bit of an undertone. Like, a lot of my friends are worried about the AI art thing. Generate, because that's what you asked for. You can already ask human artists, draw me a mouse selling potatoes in Cloverkin style, and they can look at your work and they can try to mimic it. It's true, but if you've looked at how these are doing it, it's like, it's almost exactly the style for a lot of it, and it goes back to the crediting thing. Like, if it can just generate all these different, like, okay, let's put it into a real world kind of scenario. So, Cavendish, let's say you tell the thing to make a bunch of different prints in Cloverkin style, and they all come out and they all look like my stuff, and then you start selling it. Like, isn't that weird? Like, at least with, I think if you're a human and you're doing that, like, you don't see that very often. You don't see artists doing that very often. It is pretty, like, at conventions and stuff, you don't see them selling art that looks like somebody else's thing, like 100%. Like, there's a bit of guilt there, or shame, where I feel like they don't do it. You get it every once in a while, but this, I feel like it's such a gray area that I feel like they wouldn't even know they're doing it. You know, you're removed one more step back from actually doing it. I don't know. Yeah, a human knows they're stealing, and when the computer's stealing for you, and then you just sell it, did you steal it? You know, so it's getting to a point where it's kind of similar to, it's a weird analogy, but like when you kill a cow and then you eat a cow versus you don't see the cow die, but you end up eating the cow. Like the difference there, you know, because if everybody needed to kill a cow to eat a cow, would they still do it? You know, it's the stealing thing. Like if you're doing it to the thing, to its face or whatever, like it's interesting. I don't know. The whole discussion is really, yeah, if you just look at the AI art stuff on Twitter and see how artists are talking about it, it's interesting because a lot of them say it's a tool. Other ones are saying they're scared as hell because of the crediting thing. You know, it does take some jobs from us. Like I was saying about the concept art thing, it does a really, really good job imitating concept art. Like that part is scary. It does a really good job. But overall, it's so new, it's so scary. It's like, we are already worried about NFTs, now we gotta worry about this. So, I don't know. And yeah, art people tend to kind of overreact right away to things we see like that. It's new, it's an art thing. You know, could it take our jobs? We're always worried, could it take our jobs? This feels like the biggest chance of it could take our job. And you know, it is weird because you could end up having like I'm sure we'll have like celebrity artists that are Mid-Journey artists. Like they can't draw worth shit, they can't do anything like that, but they have this gift with writing things in an AI generator that produced the most beautiful AI art or something. Like, well, you know, there'll be probably the rise of those types of people. And then it's like, you know, are they really an artist then? Or do you give them a different name? Like, are they not an artist? Are they then a generator themselves? You know, like, what would you call that? So, anyway, all these things to think about. We're not usually so introspective on here. But, like I said, it's something that was kind of milling about in my brain. I just wanted to mention it. Just in case anybody wanted to talk about it. Because it's a worry, but it's not going to stop me from what I'm doing. It just sucks. I just hate the idea that somebody could, you know, generate something that looks like someone else's art, make money off it. It is the same as fan art on a one-to-one scale. Like, my whole thing with fan art is I don't like the idea that you're making money off someone else's IP. Where this is like you're making money off somebody's actual style. Like their established style that they took so long to know, you know, to learn, to hammer out themselves. So they're both bad in my opinion, but one is equally kind of bad. We had a storm last night and our neighbor's tree, one of the bigger branches fell. And it's every time we have a storm, that guy's tree, something falls off that tree. It sure is scary, yeah. For real. Like, could affect anyone, everyone that does art or anything. Like, yeah, it's scary. For real. Go back to this later. Just want to make this side more blue. I wish it wasn't so scary. I wish it was more of a cool thing. But, you know. Alright, so anybody doing anything fun this weekend? Or anything fun coming up next week? Yeah. I feel like there is a place for all kinds of art. It's just this one is just scary. Just because it's not art that's just, you know, from your brain or anything like that. Like, this is made by a computer. It's not made by a human. At least all those types of art, like, are made by, you know. But then again, I could be wrong, and maybe this is the synth equivalent of visual art, you know, because I remember I've researched a lot about synth music and synthesizers and things, and when synths came out, and, you know, with back in the day, in like the 70s and whatever, everybody hated synths because they weren't real instruments, and, you know, they didn't count as music. And maybe we're just doing the same thing here with computers and art. Visual art. It's basically the same thing if I think about it. Computers making music, computers making visuals. It's the same thing. So, again, maybe this is just the start of the visual side of that. Collect honey from beehives? That sounds like a perfect day. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys have a blast. That sounds wonderful. How nice. That sounds relaxing and joyful and lucrative. I'm gonna get a smaller brush for this part. But yeah, the whole AI art thing and NFTs, it really depends on who you talk to about it. Some people aren't going to be worried, some people are going to be too worried, you know, all that stuff. Now the actual sides of this piece, or like in a good bit. Where the line art ends is actually where I'm gonna crop it. So I know it looks kind of weird right now, but it'll be fine. Oh, really? You're likely to get stung? I didn't realize that. I always thought for some reason you didn't get stung when you did that. But I guess it does make sense. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, bees and thunder. I could see them getting scared. Poor bees. It'd be really cute if bees got sad or scared at thunderstorms. That'd be really cute. Like ridiculously adorable. I love it. I love the idea that they could. Thick leather gloves and lifting a box, but a bee got stuck between. She stung me through the glove. Ooh. Ooh. That would kind of suck. Ugh. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get stung through a glove. It sounds like crap. Get the F out. That's true. Yeah, because rain and bees do not mix. Poor bees. They were scared. The poor bees. Come on, scrap paper. I need you. I guess that's the right. Need more yellow. Very, very watery. Let's see. Oh, what kind of cat do I want? I think I want it to be an orange cat. I think that'd be cute. So then the orange bits will go with the goose. Oh, here comes thunder. My costume is mostly just to get them from getting stuck to the clothes. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I thought it was to protect you from getting stung. Yeesh. So much for that. More. So some of you know Gabe and I got rid of a lot of our pine trees recently because they were all dead, and B, they had a lot of creepy crawlies and critters living between them. So when our dogs would go out, sometimes they would come back with stowaways. Anyway, so we wanted to get rid of that problem. So we cut down 23 pine trees. 23. And believe me, if they were well-behaved, nice, still alive pine trees, I would have kept them. I love trees. but these were not in any condition to keep. They were not happy trees. So we cut them down, and now we have all these stumps, and we're not able to chainsaw through them, because I was like, oh, we'll just chainsaw close to the ground, and you know, then they'll be level with the ground, then we can cover them up and whatever. We can't. They're too dense for us to cut through. So what we're gonna have to do, I did a lot of research on this, you end up drilling a bunch of holes in each stump, and then you take potassium nitrate and you pour it into all the holes, and then you pour water down it, and it makes this solution that speeds up decomposition in the stump, so that in a couple weeks to months you're able to just take like an axe or a sledgehammer and just beat the fuck out of the stump, and it just falls apart because it's like spongy at that point. So that's what we're gonna have to do. But it's just crazy that that's what you do. Oh yeah, the smoke. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can also burn them, but that's a bit harder because then you gotta contain the burn, and it takes a long time. You have to watch it. You don't want to sit outside and just watch a stump burn. So, and the potassium nitrate doesn't affect the surrounding plants either, so that's really nice. But yeah, we had a dumpster that I wish we could have used the wood, but it's all full of sap and it's all gross and dead and old and has bugs and things. I can't tell you how many earwigs I saw. Earwigs love pine trees. It's so weird. Anyway, so we put 23 trees in. It was like a 12-foot dumpster, something like that. Gabe was able to chainsaw them all down to be able to fit inside, and it was pretty awesome. I thought we wouldn't be able to do it, but we totally did. The dumpster is like $300 though. It is expensive. Expensive dumpster. Let's see. Let's do some red. Maybe purple. A little bit of purple. Kind of like a pink. Too watery. Ugh, Ashley. So one of the main things I was doing wrong with all these was how often I lifted my brush. With watercolor, you want to keep your brush connected to the paint and the paper as much as possible. You gotta think about it like it's a marker. Gabe made this analogy to me, and then it just finally clicked. So with a marker, the second you lift up the marker and put it back down and start going again, you're gonna have a wall of sorts, or whatever. So you have to treat it more like it's ink, basically. So now that I'm doing that, I'm getting a lot less streaking and stuff. Still up here, but the ultramarine blue is just a piece of shit. It's like one of the worst colors to use. All these other ones are doing pretty good. Like, it's not too bad. So little mud puddles. Stupid birds. Anybody have something fun that happened to them this week, or anything cool that happened? Give me the highlight of your week. Keep forgetting it's not Monday. So yeah, I want to hear deets. Give me all the details. I mean, if you want to cause more texture, then yeah, pick up your brush as much as you want to. which I'm doing now, but if you're trying to make an all-over color, don't pick that shit up. Keep it down. Keep it down. Yeah, it's typically referred to as like an underpainting, but I don't know. It depends. You don't always have to do it, but I typically like to, because then it gives me kind of a basis for the lighting. And it makes something that's already cohesive around the whole thing, so. Ooh! I love the idea of a sniffing bitch. That's great. How'd that go? Was it like a Tupperware party, but instead you're just bitching about shit and smelling stuff? Man, I love smelling stuff. I love smelling good smells. Smelling good smells is one of the best things. I think I'm one of those people that, I get really relaxed by smells. So I think smells really do it for me. So I think a sniffing bitch sounds pretty good. I'm into that. That idea is pretty great. I got my galley-proof copies and delivered a couple to writers in our group. Oh, fun! How do you feel about them, Cavendish? Are you happy? Do you have to change anything with them, or are they good? Ooh, cool. Twillo, that sounds like so much fun. I'm glad you have something so fun to do. I love that. That idea is so cute. It's very important to establish that these are mud puddles. I cannot tell you how important that is. And that he is eating mud and not anything else. Now goslings look a very certain way. They don't really look like the mother, but this is one of those circumstances I almost want to make the goslings look like the mom. You know, make them white with orange bits, that sort of thing, so they at least look like they belong to her, even though it's not like nature accurate, you know. I had a lot of trouble with the dialogue on this one, just because I didn't want it to sound too mean, and I didn't want it to look a certain way, like that this cat was being like overly a jerk. I feel like all these are like a certain level of mean, but they're not like too mean. But my main problem with them is I tend to overthink them. So it's like, alright, can't overthink it. So the second I start overthinking it, it's gonna lose the funny factor. I know when I'm doing these and the swear words just lose meaning that I need to take a step away. Because when swear words lose meaning, you're thinking about them too much, or you're doing it too much. Coach Fat Jesus. Hi. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to lurk. Welcome. Coach Fat Jesus. I love that. I don't know if it's Fat Jesus is the coach or coaching a Fat Jesus. So many different interpretations. Oh, thank you, Vale. Welcome. This is part of a little series I've been doing in my free time, which is only like 2 hours a week, something like that. If you look online under this tag, you can see the other ones I've done. I'm doing about one a week. I'm not being very pushy about it. I'm just doing it when I do it. And I'm using my stream to paint them. They take maybe an hour or two each time. So, like this was last week's. What was this one? And I'll get you the tag here so you can look at the other ones. But they're all vulgar. They all have swearing. They're all supposed to be funny. But they're painted kind of like a Beatrix Potter or something. You know, they're silly like that. They've all got swearing. I started them as a kind of a cathartic thing. And just a point in my social media career, I guess. I don't know what you even call that. Where I'm just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm gonna just do something completely different and just see what happens. So that's what I'm doing. Same kind of art I normally do, but adding a bit of an edge to it. Just because. So I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you, Vale. I do have some originals up too if anybody wants to grab one of those. I'd say about every other one gets bought, like while I'm doing it. So if you do want one, grab it. But oh, did she? Oh my god, I love Fricka so much. I've known Fricka for a long time. She's been one of the coolest internet friends I think I've ever had. She's great. Oh really? You're here from Fricka too? Oh man. Did she just push a bunch of people here? Was she just streaming? Did I get raided and not know it? Oh my gosh, I love Fricka. She's so wonderful to me. No? That just coincidence? That's crazy. Wow. Oh, time zones. Yeah. I hear that. Yeah, because right now it's 3:11 here. It's not too late yet. Yeah, I love Fricka. She's great. She's one of my most lovely patrons. You're Fricka's husband? Or you Vale's husband? Oh man. You guys are using military time. That means it's 11 p.m. Right? 2300 is 11 p.m. Oh, Vale's. Okay. Got it. Vale's. That's cool, though. Thank you both for coming. Oh my gosh. I'm honored. Sorry, I'm not used to the military time. We're in the US, so we don't go by that. So I rarely have to think about military time. Unless it is talking with somebody international or something else. It's just super rare I have to even think about it. Oh, you went to see her? Oh, cool. Going mute because people are here for the game now. Alright, Cavendish. I hope you have a wonderful Pathfinder game. I hope it's really, 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 really fun. Enjoy your Saturday. I always appreciate you being here. Oh yeah, I suppose. I never thought about that you guys have the same issue, that you have to probably think hard about us too. Oh, that's crazy. I don't know why I never even thought about that. That it might be just as difficult. Always jarring, completely. Measurement systems always get me really screwed up too. Oh, nice, Evie. Is that the one for shirts or mugs, or which one you get? Yeah, I don't know why we did that instead of that feels like the US trying to just be like, we're not you. We're broken off from you, so we're going to have a different measurement system. Because it seems like the metric system is a lot more intuitive than, what are we, imperial? Like, that doesn't sound like it's thinking too highly of itself. But yeah. So, I get that. Oh, here comes the rain. Thank God. We needed some rain. Oh, that's great, Evie. I want to get one of those someday, too. I honestly wanted to get back into silk screening. I did it in high school kind of often, and I don't know, I miss doing it. I would like to get back to it. It's a cool process. Just lots of upfront costs. Can't afford them right now. But don't have the time either. I gotta finish a bunch of stuff in the next couple months. Also, if anybody here is interested in one of my pet portraits, just a reminder to get on those, because I'm probably going to be raising the prices soon. This is a nice brush, but oh, Cricut's great. I made my whole, like, Patreon career off my Cricut. I couldn't do any of my stuff if I didn't have my Cricut. Well, I guess I could still do my cards, because I cut my cards on my own, but all my like, stickers and stuff, these are all my Cricut. And they, you know, they're really, really nice. Like, I don't want to take it off too much, but that's a really nice cut. Doing stickers is a little bit of a learning curve, but you'll figure it out. If you're a little tech savvy, you'll figure it out. Yeah, they're worth it. The problem is you gotta, like, be pretty gung-ho that you want to do it, because they're like $300. I got mine during, I think it was a 4th of July sale, like 3-4 years ago. I can't remember when it was. But try to get it during a sale, because, you know, they'll go down a good amount. But they're definitely worth it. I feel very lucky to have mine. Takes a lot of your art space. I don't know what this line is. It's really weird. Oh, bye, Vale. Yeah, thanks for jumping on, even for a little bit. I appreciate it. I was happy to meet you. Another one of Fricka's buddies. Love me some Fricka. She is wonderful. But yeah, enjoy your sleep. Oh, EB, that's wonderful. Having a nice cleaned up art space, man, there's something about that that just reinvigorates you 100%. So I feel ya. It's like when you were a kid and you'd reorganize your room and you're like, oh my god, it's like a whole different room now. I always thought that was fun. Yeah! Or put them on in Discord. Either send them to me through Discord or put them in Discord, whatever you want to do. I still have to put up pictures of my workspaces on my Patreon. I feel like a jerk. This month's Patreon update will be a little bit sparse. Just because I'm going to be doing it right before Dragon Con, so I'm going to be, like, rattled. But next month should be better. Much better. Oh, and Instagram? Okay. Whatever you feel comfy with. I'll have to look at it later, though. Since I'm knee-deep in this. I'm going to turn this into Cloudline. So I'm okay with how it looks right now. Oh man, I hate it when I get hair in my paint. My hair is long and it ends up everywhere. Everywhere. Oh, there goes my hair again. And this is why I always put it up. So is there still music? Oh, cool. Thank you, Evie. I'm excited to look at that. I just realized the cat isn't even colored. Well, let's color him. Maybe let's give him some kind of orangey shoes. Not too orangey, because he's orange. Okay, maybe some brown shoes. Then maybe so can't use purple, can't use green, can't use blue. I mean, I use just really, really bright yellow on his pants. And probably on his hat too. Oh, a heat plate. Nice. I'm guessing it's the press for shirts, yeah? Oh, their 39th wedding anniversary? That's wonderful. Happy anniversary, parents. That's a really impressive one. Almost 40 years, wow. And they haven't killed each other. Oh, to the winery. Is your mom really into wine? That's so cute. That is so sweet. Oh, there goes my hair again. Creeping down. Nope, they haven't. Ah, that's so cute. Let's do... I guess I could do some purple, but a different kind of purple. I mean, it's a violet, so it's not technically purple. She's gonna come back with a Carvel. Cute. Your parents sound adorable. That's a little bit too wet. There we go. You have to darken the mud around them so you can tell which is mud and which is mud stained. So since they're white, they're gonna have some brown on them, but it's not gonna be the mud, it's gonna be from the mud. So that means the actual mud has to be a lot more dark. See what I mean? So they're dirty, but they're not, you know, you get it. Yeah. Sorry, I breathe really heavy when I'm painting. Don't know why. Probably just a concentration thing. That's my Nuki. That's my Chancho. Oh, night, Koga-sama. It was so good to see you again. Thank you for coming. I hope you have a good night. Oh, thank you, Evie. I love your encouragement. You're always so uplifting. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, right? You do it too? It's like if I'm inking, I hold my breath. If I'm doing a line that needs to be like super steady, then yeah, I will hold my breath. But like as I'm painting, I've noticed I'm just like and it's like, oh my god, Ashley, you're streaming. Come on now. Food arrived and hunger took over, and then I had metaphorical fires because they're legitimate, spicy and hot, and Hub's not handling. Oh no! Aw, thank you, Box. It's in a little bit of a rough spot right now, but I think we'll get there. It's in that in-between kind of ugly stage where nothing's like kind of defined, you know? But then like once I actually take the pencil to it again to, you know, define it, it'll kind of look better. Being random with grass was never my strong suit here. These things need to blend a bit better for me to be happy. They're not very well blended. Some walls going on. As always, these are for sale. So this one's still up for grabs. It's on my website. Pillbugs and Slugs. I should have called it that. I forgot what I actually called it. I did not plan for it to be something to rhyme, but it did. That's okay. I am a poet at heart. I was thinking I'd put together a little book of these when they're done. UK black pepper is the spiciest you could deal with these right now. Oh wow. Tibetan. Oh man. Oh, that sounds so good. Yeah, I don't mind things that have some heat to them as long as I can still taste the food. I kind of get turned off though when something is so spicy there's no flavor and it's just heat. I'm not a fan of that. Like when it's just pain, nah, hard pass. I don't want my food to hurt me. I want my food and I to have a mutual, enjoyable experience. I don't want it to try to kill me. Oh my god. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it's got flavor, I'm all for it. Like, were you over here when Buffalo Wild Wings was here? Do you remember Buffalo Wild Wings? Like, for Buffalo Wild Wings, I love the mild sauce. It's like a little bit hot, but it's got a lot of good flavor to it. So, like, I love that one. That one's great. But any hotter than that, and it just starts to hurt, and no, that's not enjoyable. Yeah, so there you go. A Scotch bonnet. I'm just scared by the name of that. That sounds scary. Is it hard to find chicken wings over there? Like, I mean, this being America, they're like on every street corner basically, but in the UK, are chicken wings as big of a thing over there? Must be feeding time. Dogs are getting their lunch on. The little ones go mental, but our bulldog just kind of slumps around waiting for food. She's a sweetheart. You're right. That's kind of how I think about it. Yeah, it should be pleasurable. But some people, as we know, like pleasure and pain. So definitely not digging on anybody who's in that boat. You do what you do. If you like the pain and that's your pleasure, you do you, boo. You do you. Oh, really? So they considered hot wings the actual just wings. Interesting. Piri piri is a big thing. Piri piri? What's piri piri? What's pizza like there? Is it similar to pizza here, or is it like more healthy or different, or like what is it? I suppose fish and chips is like their pizza. Like, let's get some pizza would be let's get some fish and chips instead. But that's me just jumping to conclusions. Taking a stab at the dark. Portuguese, Brazil barbecuing. Oh! Type of pepper that's used to sort of mean grilled chicken with sauce on it. Interesting. So it is kind of their version of barbecue. Huh. Huh. Okay, I think we could probably take off the masking fluid now. Let me do one more thing. Yeah, I do want to make these more red, but oh, dude, I would totally have eaten an egg on my pizza. That's like putting an egg on a burger, in my opinion. I used to do that back in the day. It would appear I am also hungry. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, do they then take like pizza slices and then dip it in the yolk? Oh my god, yes. They're just as unhealthy as us. I don't care what people say. That is just as unhealthy. I love it. LOL. Oh yeah. Anything's better if you dip it in an egg yolk. Let's be honest. It's too much. Too much. Yeah, I think we can do it. Oh, did I take a picture of it with the purple? Damn it. I think I didn't. Ah, son of a bitch. Oh well, I missed a whole process section. Dang. Oh. Right. Well, let's see if it worked. Here we go. Tried the new method with the new tool. Ah. Maybe I should do 2 layers then. Dang. Ah, dang. It's okay. I'll fix it with the gouache. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. Well, the new tool worked really well, except I could tell what spots when I was doing it. I'm like, no, that's gonna go through. And of course, a part of me held out just in case, but turns out it was true. Alright, that's okay. Make sure I get it all. Alright, so I've got some white gouache. Permanent white, not zinc or titanium. Permanent. I'm going to use that. Yeah, it really does. But no, I used a rubber tip tool this time because I didn't want to keep ruining my brushes. And it worked great for the most part. It's just I think I have to do 2 passes. Because like I said, it tends to push it around more than a brush would. Because it keeps ruining my brushes, so I wanted to make it not do that. So I used this rubber tipped sculpting tool, and it worked really good. It's a lot like how a brush works, but the only bad thing is it kind of brings it with it as you're using it. So that's okay though. Like I said, just like 2 passes with gouache and we'll be fine. It'll just be a little bit brighter than it would have been. But who knows, maybe that's a good thing. Oh, thanks, EB. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. I'm not too upset by it. Once it's got some lines on it, it'll tighten up. It'll look alright. And then I'll put the words in there and you won't even notice. Oh, really? Oh. But it just rolls out of them. Yeah. Oh, that balloon came out a lot better. Yeah, it's like there's no good way to use masking fluid because no matter the container it's kind of held in, unless it is like, you know, in a bottle, it's just gonna clog up whatever the little mechanism to disperse it is, or to apply it. Because that's its job, you know. I got these little needle squeezy things to use it, same problem. It's just the nature of the beast. You want to use it at her best, you gotta love her at her worst, sort of deal. Frisk masking fluid brushes. Interesting. I'll need to look them up. Are they like hair brushes? Like the brush end is hair, or is it something else? Don't know how that worked itself on there. Weird. Man, my eye is randomly twitching. Cool. Great. getting old is the best. Eye randomly twitching? Who cares? Awesome. These guys are supposed to be kind of puffy. Like soft little down feather things. Hi, Serenity. How you doing? Oh, you just subscribed. Thank you for the sub, Serenity. Thank you all for the subs. They help. You'd be surprised, but they help. Oh, white bristle watercolor. Oh, okay. So they're like the water brushes, the watercolor brushes that you fill with water. That makes sense. Yeah, I could see that working, but then like pulling the dried fluid off of that might be a pain in the ass. Oh no, don't be sorry, Box. Don't be sorry at all. Yeah, no, they're like the water brushes. No, here, let me show you what I'm thinking, and then you can tell me if it's right. I think they're just called water brushes. Yeah, these things. These. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I just spammed myself. Hold on. Holy shit. Let me get a different one here. Oh my god, why is that link so long? I know, Cavendish, I know, thank you. Okay. Hold on. I know. Hang with me. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna just bring this up in the video. Because for some reason every single fucking link is like 20 miles long. Oh. No, those are different. Those are different than what I was thinking. Weird. So you mean just they are synthetic hair? Like it's... Oh, okay. Okay. You're right. It is different than what I was thinking. I was thinking, just so other people know. Where are they? Oh, here they are. I was thinking of these things.
Lack
oh,
of
Lucian,
9 bongo,
thank
lack
you
of
for
9
the
bongo,
sub.
lack of 9 bongo.
That's so nice of you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Lucian, you're wonderful. Yeah, I thought you meant these. That you can fill the inside like with water, you know, and then use them like whatever. Anyway, sorry. Lucian, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, I didn't even do her little tie here. Oh, I love that little emote, Lucian. Oh my god, it's so cute. Get a little flattened out like wash acrylic, but you wipe it off and good go again. Weird. Yeah, like when I was using, I was using like one of these, just like a regular brush, and pulling the masking fluid off, that sucked. So I stopped using that and I started using one of these sculpting brushes. And like I said, it works good, but, you know, every once in a while. Alright, I'm going to actually put gouache in here now, because I want to. So, for those that didn't know, the Clover cards this month are this one. And I know it looks cute, but the story on the back is actually pretty dark. Just saying. And if you like witchcraft and things of pagan origin, you'll probably like this a lot. A lot. And then this one, if you've been on the Clover cards for 19 months, I think we said, that's the next one, the 7th card. Yeah, 7th card. But these other ones, like if you're on every 3 months, you get a new one of these rare cards. But you do get a card every month, but you get a rare card every 3 months. And then these are the stickers for this month for Curious Collector tier. The Loppy. Really cute. It's its own jar bottle top, technically. It's connected to the lily pad. So, it's pretty cute. I don't know. I like them. I think they're cute. Anyway. Let's see. I was gonna do the clouds. I'm not gonna use the paint pen for this. I'm gonna use an actual brush. I'm gonna use gouache. Gouache. This was June's, I think. I think that was June's card. Pretty sure. That was a while ago. Alright. Let's get this gouache going. Now that was just in there. I don't know where that came from, that line, so I'm gonna do my best to cover that up. I don't know when that came into being, who brought it, who invited it here. The nice thing about gouache is I can put this down heavy, and then in a minute I'll be able to blend it back in. So, give it a minute, and you'll see the magic. That's my bulldog getting really angry. People outside. There we go. And then if I want to make some brighter layers, I can just go over it again. Here's some ones in the foreground. Oh, do you really, Evie? Oh, man. Thank you. I'm so glad you like my writing. I'm telling you, when I can devote most of my time to my actual stories in my writing, oh, man. The whole reason I started my Patreon was so I could practice writing and get paid for it. Technically. You know? Because I needed to figure out a way to start writing. Because the best way to get better at writing is to write. Because I knew I wanted to do my stories soon. I had written their first drafts. And they're, you know, the idea's there, but I know they could be written a lot better. And I knew that I needed to write more, so I needed to get paid for it. And I figured, well, if I can get, you know, paid on Patreon for writing my stories, and the more I write, the more I'll get better. So, you know, and eventually I can put the Clover cards together into a book. So I do plan on doing that, but that's going to be a while. I'm only at 19. I need to at least be at 24 to 30 for a good size regular book. I'm not going to include the Cloverkin cards, though. The rare cards, those will not be in the book. So that's the main draw to actually be on the tier. Because I will not include those stories in the book. But the other ones will be. But I am excited to go back to my other stories. I feel kind of crappy because one of my stories I've done recently, I stole a little bit from myself from one of my other stories for this story, and it's like, oh god. It's one of those things where if somebody knows your work really well and they read both, they're going to think that the one that came after was the one that inspired the one later, and it's like, no, that's not true. I guess that's one of those things where if you ever get big, it's like, only real fans know, that sort of thing. But, aw, EB, you're wonderful. Well, you will definitely get a discount, though. I'm going to make sure everybody who's been a Clover card collector gets a discount or a special early bird discount, something like that, on them, because you should not have to pay full price. Because you've been on it, so... Oh my god. This has masking fluid on it. Jesus God. I might actually do a Kickstarter for it. I've never done a Kickstarter. I've been in people's Kickstarters, and my husband's done Kickstarters, but I have not done my own yet. Kind of weird, huh? But like I said, it'll still be probably a year out, something like that. We'll see where I'm at, too. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a full-time job and I won't be able to. You never know, man. The way some things go. Things can change so fast. So very fast. And as always, this is up for grabs if anybody finds they're very much jonesing for this. You can nab it off me right now if you want. They're usually $135. Maybe I can take some of this back. No, just blending it at this point. Which is fine. The stuff in the background is alright if it's pushed back a bit more. Oh, Serenity, you had asked me a question earlier. Hold on. You said, how are you doing? Is everything ready for Dragon Con? No. I'm okay. I'm stressed. Next week is Dragon Con week. I needed to get all my Patreon stuff out before I prep for Dragon Con because people have already paid for something. I don't want them to get it in September. So I'm finishing up the Curious Collector tier and the Clover card tier. Those will go out Monday or Tuesday. And then tomorrow all day is a freelance job that I took on for someone I've worked with before. So all that day's burned. So Monday through when I leave for Dragon Con is going to be all Dragon Con prep. Which sucks because the people I said their portraits would be done by the end of August, that's going to get pushed off. I didn't get enough time. So that sucks, but nature of the beast. Tell me once your Kickstarter's online. I'll definitely pledge. Oh, I will. I'll spam because I'm going to be so afraid that no one will see it. So I will definitely spam it. No, these are my normal glasses. I'm glad you like them. I don't know why I don't wear them on stream. I just feel like they're they're not very interesting. Like the ones I've been wearing lately on stream are these ones. I feel like they're just more thematic, you know, because they're gold and they're circular and they look a little bit antique-y. But today they felt a little bit heavy and I was like, I'm just going to wear my normal glasses. So these ones are, they look like this. And it's funny how much of this you can't see on the camera. Like, they don't even look like they've got rims on the camera or frames. But they're there. Oh, Serenity, you're so sweet. A couple of prints that I know I want, but the Castor Trio is down at 20 instead of 50. Oh. Shit. Is it really? That might be a bug. Uh-oh. On my website? Shit. What did I do? Oh, no. I did do it. Oh, Box, thank you for letting me know. You know what? I'll probably put it down to 40 instead of even 50. Oh no, wait a minute. Free shipping. But yeah, I know you're international, so let me know that, because I can always give you money back if it's too much shipping or whatever. You know what I mean. Commerce. Let me change this real quick. I honestly don't sell prints very often, so no one has really bought that, so I can't, you know. Alright, let's do 45. Maybe. No, 50, because yeah, the $5 shipping. Damn it. It's still $10 off than if you had done them separately, so that's something. Thank you for telling me. No, it was that if you buy all of them separately, it's $60. So I wanted you to save at least some money for getting all three. So that's the save $10. But since you told me this, I will give you some money back. So actually, before you buy anything, hit me up. I'll give you a coupon just to take off some money for even telling me, because I appreciate that so much. So don't buy it until I give you a coupon. Alright. Damn it, that's my only problem with gouache. It looks like it's going to be vibrant at one point, and then it's not. So hold on, I gotta put some more down. Ah, and that weird mark is still there. I don't know what that thing's deal is. It's a literal streak through the painting. No clue what that is. Right up here. No idea. None. It sucks because Dragon Con is always on Gabe's birthday weekend. It's on Gabe's birthday. Like, Gabe's birthday is September 2nd. And it always goes over his birthday. So I'm never home for his birthday. Which, to both of us, it's no big deal because we're not sticklers for it being on the day. So he's okay doing it either before or after. Usually after, when I'm not crazy. But it's just so weird. It's on his birthday. Always. During COVID was the only time when we've been together that I've been able to, you know, be with him on his actual birthday. And Box, if you ever want to buy stuff and claim it, you know, but you don't want to, like, you're afraid of the international multi-charging, I'll always, like, send you back. I'll make sure whatever it comes out to be is only what you pay, and then I'll send you money back. Because Squarespace is so weird, it won't let me do the kind of shipping, like, parameters I want to do. So it sucks, especially for international, that I can't do what I want to do. Don't get me wrong, I love Squarespace, but that's one of the peeves I have with it. Yeah, so you know what I mean. There's that really weird, like, I wish they could do shipping per product, but it's like across the board. Who thought of that? Like, that's stupid. That's so stupid. It makes me really upset. Because other than that, like, it's a great platform. It's just these certain things are like, why? Why would you do this way? And to answer your question, Serenity, this one is saying, isn't that so cute? And then the cat saying, nah, your kids are just fucking dumb. Because they're eating mud. I don't know. I thought it was really funny when I thought of it. Sometimes I'll think of one of these things, and it's like, that's funny. And then Gabe laughs, and we both laugh, and I come back at it later, I'm like, is that still funny? I don't know. Sometimes I really don't know. But I'm like, well, if I laughed at it at one point, maybe it was funny. Oh, you do? Okay, good. Good. Well, get ready, because here come the words. That's my letterbox. Oh, God, that's pretty good, too. Isn't that cute? That's where I shit. Each one of these has to have at least one swear word. That's part of my formula. They have to have a swear word. This is technically the first one that's got dialogue between two characters. Out of all the ones I've done so far. Which is funny because it's called Bickerborough. And to bicker you need more than one person typically. So at this point I was like, I should probably get more than one character in here so they're at least fighting or insulting each other or something. I have other ideas too, but this was the one I just felt like doing last night. So I've got this already whatevered out, like plotted out. The font. Okay. Make sure this is dry. Draw a mental box where I want it to be. Oh, see, this is the problem. Here comes my masculine fucking handwriting. Good enough. You can't really do it a second time when you're painting on gouache. So that sucks. But like if I try to erase this, you'll see it's not gonna happen. You can kind of use the gouache as a whiteout, but it's too tough. Like, they're literally eating mud. Come on. And the one on the right has wall-eyed eyes. Can't really see them right now, but it made me laugh. Yeah. Your kids are just fucking dumb. There you go. There's his eyes. God, I still forgot to fucking do her thing. Hold on. I keep forgetting this and it's driving me crazy. I feel so dumb. Don't want it to be too much. Okay, so as I had mentioned, damn you, tiny ribbon. I know. We are going back to streaming on Saturdays. Woo! Right? So Saturdays, 2 p.m. CST, like 4 years in a row, how we're doing. Okay, so we're back to Saturdays. However, next Saturday, we will not be doing it. Right? It's next Saturday? Oh, maybe it's the next 2. Okay. Next Saturday, the 27th, debatable. Probably not. The Saturday after that, of course not. I'm going to be at Dragon Con. So the next time I'm streaming, for sure, is the 10th of September. Okay? So, just throwing that out there. It's going to be a while. Because my guess is I'm going to need this upcoming Saturday for Dragon Con prep. Then after that, I'm at Dragon Con, and then the one after that, that's the next one. So, no new Bickerborough until then. Oh, so that works out. Time away makes the heart grow fonder, right? Sure. Sure, we'll go with that. Alright. I'm going to use my other sharpener real quick. Yeah, so then you know what I mean. You know how that goes. Just eating mud. I hope so too. Thank you, Serenity. It's been a minute since I've been back there. I really hope I don't get too many angry people coming up to me about their portraits. I'm gonna email the ones that I still have to do that are from the last Dragon Con I did. So hopefully that'll clear that up before it even becomes a thing. But yeah. I hope it's good. I'm thinking I'm not gonna be like a crazy convention artist like I was for a few years. Something about doing it too much. It's just, I don't know. In the landscape of it's changing a bit. It always drives me nuts to see how much fan art is being sold, and I don't think that's okay. So that kind of eats at me every time I go. Yeah, it's a personal thing, but whatever. I hate it. Anyway. So I don't like that. I wouldn't miss that. And kind of the group of people I always hung out with, that's kind of fallen to the wayside. So it's like I end up going alone, which I'm okay with. I do like doing things alone. But I don't know. Like, it depends on how things are. If things feel the same that they did when I was selling, a few years back, I'll be okay with it. But I don't know. I feel like COVID has really changed people's perception of things. And I don't know how that plays into sales, but I'm kind of holding out to see before I, make more decisions on doing more shows. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, I'm proud of you, Serenity. Good job. That's hard to do. That's hard to finally sit down and do that thing because you're afraid of what the people are thinking. You're afraid it won't match their expectations of it. But to sit down and actually confront it, I'm proud of you. That's not an easy thing. No, you're okay. Don't worry. They'll be fine with it. I'm sure they'll be happy with whatever you make, so don't worry. It's all in your head. Just remember that. It's all in your head. Like, I've done 500 some pet portraits, and maybe for the first 100 I was worried about what people thought, but then I was like, you know what? If they looked at my book that I made how many years ago, and they liked it then, and I can for sure at least make that quality now, I'm fine. I'm fine. So I personally have gotten so used to it that I'm not even afraid of any commission anymore that I get. Unless it's huge. If I get one that's 24 by 36 or something, I'll sweat a little. But overall, content-wise and style-wise, I'm pretty happy with when people order stuff. I'm like, yeah, I can do that and not break a sweat. But I guess that's what you get for doing it professionally for however long. You get used to things. I also like these because they harken back to when I first started drawing. I was drawing a lot of Sunday cartoon stuff, like Garfield and anything I'd see in Sunday comics. So I feel like I've got that kind of Sunday comic look with certain things. I think that's kind of fun. Which that style definitely is not in whatsoever, but it always gives me a chuckle. Quick sketch commission. Color Clip. She's one of my most loyal customers. Oh, she'll if she's a loyal customer, Serenity, you know, you'll be fine. She'll be happy with whatever you make. Oh my god, I forgot all the little details in this cat's mouth. Alright, hold on. Gotta get some detail going. Shit. Totally forgot about this thing in his mouth, too. It's a bit yellow, but it's alright. Blot it up a little. Now I gotta wait for all that chunk to dry. How long have you been working on this one? Just today. I mean, let's see, what's my timer at? 2.5 hours? Somewhere in there? I did the sketch in maybe half an hour last night. So 3 hours total, I guess? Somewhere in there. Seems like they take me about 3 to 4 hours. 2 if it's on a easy one. Oh, thank you, Serenity. Yeah, but they look fast, you know. They don't look very careful or anything. I'm kind of just beating them out, really. I suppose if I took like double the amount of time, I could make sure there's no crappy edges and all that stuff. But these are supposed to be quick for me. They're supposed to be fun. I'm not supposed to sweat them very much. I am just trying to pump them out. I also like made this project so that I would stop taking things so seriously. I feel like the algorithm really got in my head this year, and I was worrying too much about, you know, what things were what, and, you know, is this my fault? And then I got really sad because it's like, well, if we can't beat the algorithm, what are we gonna do? Like, all these stupid mind fuck things. So I was like, you know what? No, I need to reconnect. And the way to do that for me was to kind of break myself of what I normally do. Like, before I would normally not swear on my stream. I would just try to be very approachable and whatever. And I mean, I was myself, but I was a more, I don't want to say filtered, but a more approachable version of myself. Whereas now it's like, it's pretty much myself. I mean, I'm not trying to impress anything. I'm doing things fast and messy, and it's whatever. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to be a spectrum artist. I'm not trying to be a fine artist. I'm just, when I'm doing these, I'm just having fun. So that's really the purpose of these, to get me out of my head, to stop overthinking things, and to just do things that are fun. Because it stresses me out so bad that the algorithm, the thing that like you depend on for people to see your work so you can get paid, so you can make money. Like if I wasn't an internet artist, like depending on these things, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, I wouldn't even care, man. Like, it's so different when you have to depend on this thing that you can't even explain, or like you can't understand the algorithm. You can't try to cheat it. You can't do anything about it. But it totally dictates how well you do, how much money you get, if you eat or not. Like, that's what it boils down to, and that's why the algorithm for a lot of us is so detrimental. So if you see a lot of artists talking about it, it's because we're really scared. Especially if you've been on Instagram as long as I have. I got on in 2012, and it's had at least 3 giant upsets that I can remember. One of which was, I think, around 2017 or something, when they did the bot purge, where everybody lost like tons of followers because most of them were bots. So I remember that. I remember that being a huge deal. But it's like when I was doing a drawing a day for 3 years straight, I shit you not, they're on there. You can go look. When I was doing that, I was growing at a really like set rate. It was really nice. You could predict it. You could even like say, if I did this many more posts a day, I'd get this much more exposure, things like that. But then once they just rejiggered everything, you couldn't predict anything. You couldn't figure out what they were trying to do. You couldn't strategize. And that's when I think people started losing their damn minds, because if you're telling business people there's no way you can project income, like, we won't tell you how much you're gonna make or all this and that and the other thing. A lot of us are like, okay, how are we supposed to do this? Yeah, you remember that. Yeah. So I feel like it's so weird now. And God, I can't even imagine being an artist up and coming now. I can't. I honestly, it would stress me out to think about it. Like, if you're a 14, 15-year-old artist, like the things you'd have to deal with mentally about your own work, mentally about other people's work. Shit, man, I'm 36. I can barely think about, like, what other things, like, there's so much psychology with social media that I can't even handle it. I can't. I've tried for years, and it's just, at one point I thought I had a grip on it. You never do. If you're depending on social media for something, there's no getting used to it or anything like that. Like, you will always relapse and go back to thinking, wait, so what about this? You know, things like that. Yeah, and that's where I'm at, Serenity. It's like, it sucks because one of the people that kind of grew up with us on our streams and things, they surpassed, actually 2 people I know have gone semi-viral and surpassed Gabe and I. And I know one of them feels so guilty that they always share our work and stuff, but it's like, you know, it's the lottery. You either kind of fit the mold or you don't, and you don't go viral for anything ever, even though you're always grinding, you're always making stuff. Your stuff just may never be in. It may never be the art style that anybody's into, but if you're into it, that should be all that matters, right? And you can remind yourself that all the time, but sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't. It's one of those things. It's like, it's probably like just self-confidence in general. Some days you're like, yeah, I'm the best. Other days you're like, no, I'm crap. You know, it just goes back and forth. The thing that just kills me, though, about internet stuff is that you can't project it. You can't plan it. You can't do anything. You don't have a plan of attack, ever. Because it's impossible. Unless you knew the algorithm personally, you wouldn't be able to do that. And when I say the algorithm, it's an abstract concept. I know they have multiple algorithms. And they tell you how to get better at them. But it's like, here's a great example. Ready? I'll be completely transparent with y'all. So, yesterday, I put up a reel. So I can make money with reels, but there's a pretty big catch to that. Alright, here's my... Oh, that's still dark. Alright, yeah, here's my Instagram, right? Alright, this number hasn't budged for a very long time, by the way. Very long time. So, reels, if you can make a certain amount with them, right? I literally spent, God, how long was it? It was under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes with this one. Yesterday. Less than 5 minutes. I synced it to music, and then I even took one of the clips and I got rid of part of it because it showed too much of my planner. And I was like, oh, I don't want to put that in there. So I cut it out. It was off sync. And I was like, whatever, I just gotta post it. People have to know what stickers are available now, so it doesn't even matter. There's bad cuts in it. That's a terrible cut. That didn't, like all the jarringness and the back and forth. And this one has 10,000 views. That's the most I've ever gotten out of all these. And it's the worst one I've ever done. Look at this. I've taken time to actually make nice videos with effects and like VFX and things and trick camera stuff. Doesn't matter. Like this one took me like 7 hours. This was a fun project for me, but it took me like 7 hours. And I have a background in like video editing and stuff and animation, so for me it was really fun, so I don't regret it. But this one, 5,000. This one was 1,700. So if I get over 1,000, I start making some money, but then they throttle you once you get to a certain point. This one was an experiment. I was like, I'm gonna just show an art book. I'm gonna show an art book, and if I make money from it, cool. But I'm just gonna show an art book. I'm not even gonna show my art. That's all it is. And it was one of my highest, like 7.9. So there's like no rhyme or reason to any of this. Nothing. Like, I'm sure it depends on your tags too, but like, this was one of my better edited ones. This one was really fun. Totally just not even breaching 1,000. Like, what? Some of these are just stupid. It makes zero sense. This one also took a lot of time to edit things, and it doesn't matter. Like, it's so weird. I did, effects on this and editing, really nice stuff, doesn't matter. So stupid. This one, I just, took Cricut footage, and that was basically it. Same thing. So, and then when you go up here, and you go down here, it'll show you how much you're making from what reels. So it says how many bonus plays you get, and I can only make 1,200 a month, and it tells me by what time I can do that. But you never make that much. If you reach $100, it basically throttles any exposure you get after that. At least for me and Gabe. We've noticed that for ours. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. So yeah, it's still $100 extra. That's nice. And I'll do a couple reels just to get that, but it's ridiculous. Jumping through the hoops so much. It's crazy. Oh, I'm glad you like the pinecone reel, Serenity. Really? You don't even see my post? God damn it. Same feeling as walking into a party with everyone you know, and that is no fun to me. Oh, Box. I could see that. But the worst thing is, it's like walking into a party where everyone is there, you know, and they don't know you're there. That's Instagram. Yeah, you're posting things, but your friends aren't even seeing it. So it's stupid. Exactly. Well, don't put too much effort into your reels. Yes and no. If you're having fun doing it, go ahead. You know? Like, I love to animate. I love to edit. So when I get more time, I'll probably make reels more fun. And who knows, maybe that will catch on. I was trying to make that overhead spell thing kind of a new thing to start doing, but it takes a while. But I'll probably go back to doing that because it's fun. And I want to do it because it's fun. But if you're somebody who doesn't like reels, yeah, it's more about tags, I think. Really. Like, make sure you're using good hashtags. I just don't. Unless you need it, don't do it. You know, if you're just somebody who doesn't need the exposure or the followers or anything like that for, you know, making money and surviving, don't waste your time. Go outside, go do something fun, go play with the dog. Fuck reels, fuck all that shit. It's just, it's not worth your life, you know? I mean, unless you actually enjoy it. But that's what I'm saying, like, don't do it unless you really want to. And I mean, if you're somebody who has gone viral and has like hundreds of thousands of followers or something, like, this advice I'm giving is basically obsolete. Like, it is worth it for you to do things. Like, you'll get all those views on your reel. You'll get good money. So doing those things is probably worth it if that's how you're making your money. You know? So it's just when you're at a certain level, you can't breach this glass ceiling that's there. It's kind of hard. Oh, EB. I'm so happy you watch them. I hope you enjoy them. I do them for you. I'm glad, Serenity. The only thing that seems to make sense for me is when I'm paint making. I'm actually painting. I don't want studio lights and all that killing me. Yeah, it can be a bit much. Unless you make an effort to get used to it or you genuinely like it. Like, I don't think I could stop streaming. I really do like streaming. I wish I made more money streaming. I'll be completely honest, but I mean, that might come down to me and needing to stream more often, which I can't do right now. But I do like to stream. I got used to it over 7-some years, so at this point, I don't mind doing it, you know? So that's one of those skills I guess I've adapted and kind of worked into my skill set, that I can do these things while talking and all that, and I don't mind it. YouTube videos, though, that area is so hard to get into. Like, with all my background, I would be a pretty great fit for it, and I've thought about it pretty intensely, but the competition for views there is ridiculous. It's really hard. There are art videos everywhere for everything. Everyone's saying the same shit. So it's hard to actually say that you have something different. You know what I mean? So I also have this little tutorial series that I still plan on doing, and it is different than any tutorial thing I've ever seen, so at least that I've ever seen. Maybe it's been done. I'm not saying it hasn't, but I would really like to still try it and see, but again, I need the time to do it. And then I could make those into reels, and if that works out, that's fun. But I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm just ready to kind of throw in the hat to get a part-time job that gives me some money, can be unart related, and then have that be my stable income so I can work on my stories I'm okay going back to that, because full-time freelance nowadays is difficult. Before COVID, it was okay. It was doable. It was still hard. It's always been hard, but it was doable. But after COVID, no, something changed. Something very big changed. So I don't even... A lot of my advice to anybody anymore is kind of outdated, because it's just... I don't even know how to navigate in this climate anymore, because things have changed so much. Alright, I think we're about at a good ending point. I'm not fully done with it, but the rest is just kind of detail crap that you guys may not want to see. But like I said, if anybody wants this one, you can claim it in the chat now and tell me, and then we'll arrange money or whatever. It's $135. Otherwise, if you're not sure or you want to try it later, it'll be on my website. All my originals go on my website. I got into a gallery in California. If anybody's familiar with Gallery Nucleus, it's not the Portland one, it's the California one. So I'll have 2 pieces there. If anybody goes to those shows, you can purchase them there. They're only $100, and they're 5x7, so they're about this big. But that's that. That doesn't happen though until September sometime. But anyway, so this is about where this is. Pretty happy with how it turned out, for the most part. I made some better improvements this time than last time. Last time still had some issues, but anyway. I'm still on YouTube, my gaming channel though. And I never had much views to begin with. Well, I still enjoy doing it every once in a while. That's great. Then keep doing it, Serenity. Do whatever you want to do, you know? Thank you, Box. Alright, I think we're gonna go. No one's on. I would raid somebody, but none are on that I can see. I gotta eat. I'm getting hungry. Remember that below the stream, I always put when the next stream will be. If you don't want to go all the way into Discord to see if I'm gonna be whatever, at the bottom of my Twitch channel, it says the next stream. So it's not going to be next Saturday. It's not going to be the Saturday after that. It's going to be the Saturday after that, the 10th. So I am so happy that you guys stayed with me this time, because it's going to be a while before I see you next. And I'll miss you. I will miss you. So thank you for being with me this time and sticking out with this stupid goose painting thing. Whatever. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful 2 weeks, and I'll see you afterwards, okay? Alright.